there's an overland route in the southeast that you've probably never heard of. Looping just over 1,000 miles over mixed terrain, the South Carolina Adventure Route is a southern-style backroad cruise with some surprises and obstacles that can be a bit more than they appear just around the corner. The spring weather has set in, and I've headed south with a week to complete this track and see if this once drive-through state has some adventure in it after all. Well, at least that's the plan. A couple miles into the South Carolina Adventure Route. I was pretty surprised to have found an overland adventure route in South Carolina. I am gonna put it in 4 high, turn off traction control, and windows up. Is day one the day that we break out the Max Tracks? I don't think so. I spoke too soon. So much mud. I love it. I started this adventure in the town of Marion. Because of its proximity to I-95, getting my tires on the route here made the most sense. Taking the scenic route through just over 1,000 miles of back roads with nearly double that in alternate options, the South Carolina Adventure Route, or the SCAR, nearly makes a perfect loop along the inside perimeter of the state of South Carolina. A state that previously, before my discovery of this route, I considered to be a drive-through state. I highly doubt that I'll be feeling the same way about it after this adventure. We have hit the first dirt road of the South Carolina Adventure Route. I don't know whose road this is, where it's going, but there haven't been any no trespassing signs. Look, there's a speed limit sign right there. It's gotta be public. Definitely sandy though. Just as I figured, dusty, dusty, dusty. The truck is definitely gonna be covered in dust by the end of these six days. Alright, we got our first water of the South Carolina Adventure Route. We're gonna need the Max Tracks right off the bat. Nope, don't think so. Just a puddle. So once I get into Jamestown here, I'll be on the legit South Carolina Adventure Route track and not like an extension of it. So hopefully tomorrow is, I have a feeling, gonna be mostly just sand and dust, but hopefully we can find some interesting parts of the track. Hopefully there's some mud. Really have no idea what to expect from this entire route. So it's all gonna be a surprise. There we go. That is a tree right there. This thing's like wider than my arm span. It's got ferns growing all up in it and stuff, moss. That is an ancient tree. Man, all right, first things first, I gotta put some pants on because these bugs are horrendous. There's no wind, so this little like fumigating thing ought to work pretty well. Isn't ideal with it being 80 degrees. Swallowed a bug. All right. Yes, sir. That is what is up. All right. Swap out koozies here. Favorite koozie. Yep. This is a nice camp for the most part. You know, minus the bugs. The bugs are pretty bad. Lots of mosquitoes, no-see-ums, which means I'm probably gonna cook dinner and then hop up in bed. It is hard to beat this though. Just a quiet spot in the woods, birds, a great grandmother of a tree right here. Like, I ended up cutting my evening short due to the bombardment of bugs, but that's to be expected this time of year. Got up early this morning, 5 o'clock, way earlier than I intend on getting up for the rest of this trip. But I did that so that I could get this shot, this opening morning shot on the ocean to commemorate the beginning of the first full day of the South Carolina adventure route. Only a couple miles away, so I'm gonna get there. Having left camp early, I took the time at a local boat ramp just off route to cook myself some breakfast. I just can't get over how incredible these coastal marshlands look. All right, pulling out of this park, heading back to the Scar. Be heading west to make the loop back to I-95. All right, got some quality mud up here. Looks like whichever track I take, there's gonna be mud. So I think I'm gonna take the far right because I want to avoid this log here. It looks like someone used to get unstuck, but don't think we're gonna need that. This mud seems like it has a pretty hard bottom to it. So this stuff is pretty tough. So I am gonna put it in 4 high, turn off traction control, and windows up. Is today the day? Is day 1 the day that we break out the Max Tracks? I don't think so, but we're gonna see. There we go. All right. Pretty chill. I probably didn't even need 4-wheel drive for that, to be honest. But after a good rain, I imagine this section gets really, really wet. Big drop here. Ooh. I think I might have just bottomed out, actually. Spin in there. Yeah, I gotta put it in 4th. Easy day. So much mud. I love it. Ooh. Yeah, we got a big hole. All right, very well. So someone has made a very muddy bypass for this hole right here. Someone even took a bypass over here, which makes me wonder about this hole. Why people are so adamant about bypassing it, but I think we're gonna give it a shot. That's fairly deep actually right there. I think this might be 4 low. That's fairly deep. All right, I think this one's gonna be a 4 low kind of drive. I'm gonna try and take the kind of the right side. Yeah, let's do it. I just got myself sunk. I'm gonna try and crawl my way out. All right, I think I'm gonna try getting the traction boards out. I don't think I can open the door though, so. All right, let's hope it's that easy. That's good stuff. I feel like I'm so close. And it hits that wall. More. And just as I was thinking to myself how awkward it would be for someone to drive up on me walking the road in my underwear, that's exactly what happened. Thankfully, they were driving a truck. They were a bit surprised to have driven up on the scene that they did, but were excited to assist me with the snatch recovery.
Chevy, baby. Hey man, I was so happy I got to get you out. Don't try this again. Go ahead.
All right, so yeah, we just got pulled out of there. Way too deep for the truck. Just ripped off the front cowling to the bumper. A little dirty, just a little. You know, I was worried that I was getting water in the cab, but totally dry. The back, however, is definitely getting a little bit of water coming in. This side I actually haven't checked yet. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just a little on the carpet there. Definitely could have been a lot worse though. Not doing great on time anymore, but you know, that was worth it. You know, just like I told them, you know, because it isn't smart being out here without a winch and by yourself and putting yourself in situations to get stuck. But, you know, I've been seeing people driving, cycling, and running all day. And so, really not that worried about not finding someone that can get me out. So, like I told them, you know, it'll all work itself out in the end. I've got several days worth of food and water, and I can always go to somewhere that gets service. You know, I'm in South Carolina. I'm not in the Alaskan wilderness, you know. I'm not 5 days into the backcountry in BC where, you know, I'm totally screwed. My point is it'll all work out. Just out here to have fun. Yeah, so I guess at this point I'm gonna spend the next couple minutes cleaning up. I'll probably end up stopping at a truck stop, you know, somewhere by the Best Buy and take a shower. That way I don't have to go to bed like this. Come on, come on. There we go. Fell right in it. Just trying not to bottom out because those ruts were super deep. All right. We made it. 2 hours later. Well, I just about gave the truck everything it had in that hole. Anything short of a winch wasn't gonna work for that hole, I don't think. Those guys were awesome pulling me out. I'd definitely still be there. I don't know what I'd be doing, probably just digging it out. Probably have my shovel in my hands trying to dig out the front. Thanks to those guys for pulling me out, because I was gonna be there a long time. I was gonna be there for quite some time. Yeah, showers and laundry. Get back on the trail, because we lost a lot of time there. Son of a bitch. Yeah, back at it. Almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm thinking, judging by how far I've made it today, I'm gonna probably drive into the night. Truthfully, this trail, this route, this track is taking longer than I expected it to. I've probably only made it just over 300 miles today. I'm gonna drive to this campsite, which is coming up here in just a couple miles, probably 6 miles or so. Check it out. If it's a good looking campsite, I'll probably stay there for the night. If this campsite doesn't work out, if it turns out to be a bust, which it very well could be, then I'm gonna be pushing into the dark for a campsite that I know exists, but it's probably gonna be a couple hours away. There is one thing, is the truck kinda seems to be straining a little bit when it starts. The ignition process seems a little off. It started up every time so far, but it sounds a little different. I'm not sure what that is. I wanted to put the southeastern portion of the state behind me because the trails I really wanted to spend some time exploring were waiting in the foothills of the Appalachians along the Georgia state line. There has been a development in the evening. The potential campsite is not a campsite. The next campsite is Lick Fork Campground, and it is labeled as an actual campground. Yeah, 3 options in that area. Not that much farther, probably gonna be 9:30 by the time I get to the first one. I am going to throw on a podcast and do some night cruising. Well, it's late. It is exactly 10:30, and I just reached Sumter National Forest. I'm planning on pitching the tent, eating a protein bar, and going right to sleep. Maybe one of these nights I'll actually do some typical camping things, but not this night. I am going to bed, and I will see y'all in the morning. Good morning. I slept great. No, I really did. It rained a lot last night though, so Everything's a little wet. Not on the inside of the GFC, but the outside's pretty wet. So I don't know if I'm gonna wipe that down and try and get some of that water off before closing it up this morning, but I don't know if you can hear. I guess there's like a creek right over there, and the frogs are so loud. I thought I was getting abducted by aliens last night when they started up, because it's pretty wild sounding, hearing all of them all at once. But yep, show you where we ended up last night, right off the road. I've also still got this mess back here. Let's start with some coffee. It's fine. Smells good. Really hot. Really hot. Well, haven't made it very far since I left Camp 2. Well, that's our second tree. Cleared in just the first hour of the day. The route by this point had mostly been winding dirt roads, passing by farmland over an endless flat landscape. Not much to offer for sustained off-roading, but plenty of time to cruise with the windows down and the radio turned up. I was a little bit jealous of the bass boats on the water when I passed over Lake Hartwell. I hope the fishing was good out there. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've only gone 137 miles. I've been on the highway for a good bit since I hit the lake about probably 30 minutes ago, maybe more. And I can see the hills in the distance, pretty much on the western side of the state. I can see the state boundary. You know, Georgia is just probably 6 miles, 5 to 6 miles to my south. And probably 25 miles to my west is the western border of the state. So pretty close to Georgia, pretty much, you know, middle of the afternoon, day 2, and I'm on the western side of the state, so.
Place where we can go and be alone. So come away with me, nobody has to know where we gonna go.
All right, so I'm up here in the hills. Day 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I pulled off of the route just to fly the drone, and I shut the truck off. Go to turn it back on, I get a false start. Wait a couple seconds, hit it again, starts up, real weak. That's obviously super concerning because I don't want to be somewhere up here like I am now with no signal and not be able to start the truck. So I'm going to continue the route until I get to a spot with good service next to a highway or in town, somewhere that I can get help if I need it. If it continues to be an issue, then that might mean that it's time to head home. The future of the trip hangs in the balance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the results are in. The decision is final. Took the truck to an AutoZone. Had the guys there, very helpful. Run a test on the ignition systems, and it's a bad starter. I think that's it for now with the South Carolina adventure route. I really don't want to call it quits on this trail right now. So I think the best course of action is to limp it back home to Maryland, because I don't know how many more starts I have on this starter. I'm about 4.5 hours from Fayetteville, North Carolina. If I can make it there tonight, I know where to camp. If it doesn't start up, I got people that can take me to the Toyota dealership, pick up a starter, and make it back. That's the plan for now. And the rest of the scar is just gonna have to wait for another time. As much as that hurts to say, that I'm not gonna be able to complete it this time, I think that's the safest course of action.